results update for January 27th, 2015. And the beginning part of this video, I'm going to explain why my forecast had busted for the past blizzard that we are still kind of experiencing, but will be ending shortly. To start off, late Friday there was model, I guess you could say model hintation of a storm taking place today. And they ended up being right, but there was a lot of inconsistencies and uncertainties on what exactly the track was going to be of this storm. The European model and the NAM, about 24 hours out, showed that the storm was going to take a more western track, which would have put us on the fringes of the largest snow band, which is actually falling in parts of Long Island, Central Connecticut, and Massachusetts. And the GFS was showing a storm with a more eastern track. And as we got closer and closer to the event, the shorter term models, more specifically the HRRR simulated radar, showed that the storm was going to take the eastern track. Now, meteorologists around the country were still skeptical of this scenario, only because of the Euro's superiority over the other models as of late. However, the NAM also switched to that scenario right before the system was going to start. So we're kind of caught off guard, I guess you could say. And we had to quickly change around, and I knew that this was probably going to be a busted forecast once that happened. And it turns out that my totals were a little high. They weren't so bad, but I definitely could have done better. So that's that. And let's recap the storm. So let me pull up the radar. This is on Penn State's weather website. It's a good website to check things out. But the National Weather Service says this is for additional snowfall for the rest of the storm. And much of this has already fallen. This was issued a couple hours ago, a few hours ago. As you can see, it has 2 to 3 inches for Albany and point southward until you get to Sun Dutchess, where they have an additional 1 to 2. That's a little generous, I think. I think most of the accumulations are over. And this is the current radar. You can see here that where the largest band set up pretty nicely was this area, more like that area. But yeah, Boston's been having a lot of problems for this storm. They've gotten close to 2 feet already. Worcester, Massachusetts, which is around this area right here, they've gotten a historic snowfall. They've beaten their all-time record. So this was a historic snowstorm, but it wasn't historic for our areas in the southern parts of New York. If this had taken a more western path, it would have been a historic storm for us, but of course that did not happen. And in terms of snow totals, official snow totals, as of .250, Albany had received 3 inches. That was a couple hours ago. Probably picked up a couple more, so probably around 5 inches right now. Waterville picked up 4. Guilderland picked up 5. We head down south a little bit. Hudson picked up 6. Pine Plains picked up 6.5. Poughkeepsie picked up 5. Um, these are probably a little inaccurate right now because that was a couple hours ago too. Rensselaer picked up 2.5 again. That was a couple hours ago. They probably picked up a couple more inches at least after that. And Saratoga picked up 4 as a 12-12. That probably goes up a little bit too. So, in terms of my forecast, it turns out it looks like that my forecast will be a little aggressive for probably this line southward. Areas down here definitely did not get this snowfall amount. If that snow band had been more to the west, we would have gotten that much snow, but the storm took an eastern track. That caused us to get lower amounts. There was a sharp cutoff with this snowfall, with this storm. There was a lot of uncertainty of where that was going to happen or how that was going to interact with the storm as well. Obviously not in my forecast favor. But we'll use this storm as a learning tool. We'll study it. We'll see what went wrong with the models and move forward. Now, in the next few days, there is another snowstorm, not snow, clipper system that will be moving through the area, and the models have a pretty good agreement of this. The GFS model has it moving in on Friday, as well as the European model, and it shows a general 3 to 6 inches with this storm, and that sounds about right. Accumulations will be determined, or a snowfall map will be made in a couple days, probably Thursday for this system. And then after that, we have another system potentially. Let me pull this up. We have another potential system moving in on the Monday time frame. Right here. And this storm has some uncertainties on the precipitation type right now. The GFS shows a rather cold system, but the European shows a lot of warm air aloft, which could cause icing issues. There'll be more time, and there'll be more model runs to hammer that out as well. We got time to look at this storm almost a week, so we'll see what happens. What we know for a fact that will happen is that there is going to be some very cold air coming down from Canada, and the National Weather Service at Albany is forecasting some very brutal temperatures. Temperatures in the single digits and negative digits. And this is because the storm's dragging all this cold air down, along with this clipper system will be reinforcing that cold air. And here we are. For today we had a high of around 17 degrees. Tonight, lows dropped down into the teens and single digits north of Albany. And this for Wednesday, in the 20s. It's not too bad. And then Wednesday night is when it starts getting cold. We have 4 degrees in Albany. They're forecasting 3 degrees in Poughkeepsie, 2 in Hunter, and then -4 in Glens Falls. And then this cold air will be reinforced after this clipper system moves through on Friday. And see, on Saturday we got temps in the teens. Saturday night we got lows in the 0 and single digit time. What's the word I'm looking? Temperature range. My bad. And then temperatures will remain pretty chilly, definitely below average through next week. So we have a couple more storms to deal with over the next week. We'll have frequent updates on Facebook and Twitter, so please follow us there. And that is all. I hope everyone stayed safe, and I hope everyone has a good next couple days, and I'll see you later.